Welcome to another episode of Interactive Biology TV. My name is Leslie Samuel. In this video, I'm going to be answering one basic question. What is an action potential? And you're probably going to notice that it's a little different than the 6 episodes that I've done before. And two main differences are what you're going to notice. Number one, I no longer call it BioVid. And the reason for that is BioVid doesn't really tell what this is all about. I've changed it to Interactive Biology TV because it's going to be interactive, it's going to be about biology, and it's going to be video. So from now on, you're going to be hearing me saying Interactive Biology TV as opposed to BioVid episode, whatever it is. Number two, you're going to notice that I'm on camera this time, and that's a little different because in the past, I've done slides and animations and so on. And the reason I'm making this change is basically because I wanted to do something that I can produce much quicker. In the last year, I only made 6 episodes, and I want to be doing episodes on a regular basis, and this is just easier for me to produce, and I can put together a relatively professional quality video in a short period of time. So I hope you enjoy this new format. Please let me know in the comments below, and if you have questions about it or comments about it, you can just do that. It's going to be relatively laid back, and I'm just going to be talking to you about these different concepts. So let's get into the content for today. Today I'm answering the question, what is an action potential? Now, if you've looked at any of the previous episodes, you've seen that I've given an introduction to the nervous system and to neurons. And that introduction to neurons basically comes right before this in terms of the understanding the concepts, the different parts of the neurons. Now, the main part of the neuron that we're talking about today is the axon, and I have a very amazing device here that I'm going to be using to illustrate that. But the axon is the part that sends the signal. Okay, so a signal starts in the soma. There's processing that happens in the soma, and we're going to talk about that later on, and then it sends a signal via the axon to the ends of the axon terminals, and then that signal can basically go to the next neuron. And how I'm going to illustrate this is really simple. If someone touches your hand, you feel it. And the reason you feel it is because there are signals that start at that point, and the signals go to your spinal cord and then up to your brain. These are electrical signals that happen relatively quickly so that your brain can interpret that stimulation, and your brain tells you, okay, someone is touching you. That is an action potential. You can call it an action potential. You can also call it a nerve impulse. But it's basically that electrical signal that goes from that stimulation point all the way to the brain. Okay, and these signals are going throughout the body doing a bunch of different things, and we're going to talk about that. So here I have my handy dandy iPhone 4. I'm going to turn it on, and I have my earbuds. I'm going to put these on. And the way this works, I'm assuming you guys know how this works, but the iPhone 4 is an amazing device. It has built in an iPod, and I'm going to assume you know what an iPod. You know what? I'm going to tell you what an iPod is just for some strange reason you don't know what that is. But it's an MP3 player that allows you to play music and audiobooks and a whole bunch of other stuff. Anyhow, I'm going to stimulate this iPhone, and it's going to send an electrical signal via this cable to the earbuds, and we're going to assume as if it's going to my brain, and it is going to my brain. So here we have a cable sending signals, and then there can be a response. The brain can interpret that stimulation. Okay, so I'm going to press play, and this is me stimulating, and as soon as I press play, I can hear music. And I can dance to the music, I can do a whole bunch of stuff. Let me stop that for now. But basically, here we have that wire, and these are the axons of the neurons sending signals to the brain, to different parts of the body. It's basically how the nervous system communicates with the different cells and organs and glands. So really simple. The action potential is that signal that goes through the axons along the nerves and basically takes a signal from one place to another place, whether that's from the brain to my hand that pulls away, whether it's from the stimulation point all the way to my brain. I hope that makes sense for you. That's basically what an action potential is. If you have any questions, comments, leave it below in the comments field, and I'd be happy to follow up and answer your questions or even make a video about it. That's it for this episode, and I'll see you on the next one.